welcome back to my channel. I'm Sussex Sandra and hello and welcome. Today I'm keeping it fairly simple. I am going to be doing a battle of two brands of face primers that promise a matte finish, that they control oil, but I want to see how they perform on my extremely oily skin. So for those of you who don't know and are new to my channel, hello and welcome. I'm a woman in my late 40s and I suffer from extremely oily skin, so that is all over oil, not just the T-zone but the whole face breaks out in oil. And I normally break out in oil after about, say, 2 hours, usually hour to 2 hours. Good foundations with me, if I've got a decent primer, they'll give me at least 4 hours of control before oil starts to break through. So the primers I am testing out today are two. I'm going to do one on one side of my face and one on the other side of my face. The two primers were featured in my recent summer shopping haul. The first one is by Jouer and it's the anti-blemish matte primer, which looks like this. That's this product here. And the second one is by Ilamasqua. It is their matte veil primer. Let's take it out of the box. Looks like that. So with the Ilamasqua, I was actually going to purchase the Hydra Veil primer. It's one that I've been testing out for about 5 months. I received a small little pot in a Look Fantastic beauty box back in January, February, around that time, and I absolutely loved it. It was a cool, hydrating primer that actually controlled my oils quite well. So I actually went onto the website, the Cult Beauty website, I think it was, or was it Feel Unique? It was one of those two websites anyway. I went onto their websites to purchase the Hydra Veil, and I saw that they had a matte version of it, and I thought, oh, you know what, let me try that. So I bought this instead. So this cost £34, and if I remember correctly, this one cost £29. So I'm just going to read a little bit of information about what this one promises. So I am on the Cult Beauty website and it is 30 mils and it does cost £29 on the Cult Beauty website. And what does it say about it? It says why it is a cult. A makeup masterpiece requires a perfect prepped canvas, and few things do the job better than Jouer Cosmetics Anti-Blemish Matte Primer. A cosmetic meets skincare hybrid that instantly perfects while it gradually corrects. So your complexion not only looks flawless, but gradually becomes so. Formulated with salicylic acid, which gently resurfaces to unblock pores and alleviate congestion, while battling existing blemishes and helping to prevent the development of new ones. Together with aloe to calm redness and soothe any inflammation, this pre-base complexion enhancer is both reparative and protective, optimizing the longevity of your foundation whilst defending against skin aging free radical attack. Okay, so I am going to apply that on this side of my face. So let's do that now. So it's hasn't really got a fragrance, so it's a white creamy product like that. So let's apply this on. You can see I'm already breaking out in perspiration. Let's blot my face down. I forgot to bring the fan into my room. I keep doing this. So I'm hoping the primer does get to set properly on my face. So let's do this. So it feels like it's quite water-based, and it does feel creamy. It feels like it's got an oil in it, but I'm assuming it won't have, considering that it's supposed to be mattifying. Okay, so you can see how that looks on this side of my face. The sunlight is actually reflecting my face, so it might look a little bit bright, but it is actually not drying down matte actually. It's just giving a very natural looking finish on that side of the face, if you compare it to this side. Okay, so that's that product. So let's do the other one. So this is the Ilamasqua Matte Veil Primer. Let me get it up on my website. So this again I bought from Cult Beauty as well. I think I bought it from Cult Beauty or Feel Unique. I can't remember which ones I bought it from, but I will put the correct details down below. It costs £34, so it is a bit more expensive, and it contains, let's have a look, again it contains the same amount, 30 mils, 1 fluid ounce. So it says on their website, it's an oil control matte veil, preps the skin to create the perfect matte base for makeup application. Its mattifying cream gel formula absorbs excess oil whilst retaining the skin's natural moisture levels, providing a silk soft finish, enhancing makeup longevity. Matte veil also controls shine throughout the day and into the evening, keeping skin feeling healthy and balanced. Okay, so the container, as I said, it's a nice matte jar. The Hydrovel is a shiny jar, so you know the difference between the two when you see them. So there's little chance of you picking up the wrong one. When you open it, it's got this lid, and it's got a little little scoop spoon sort of thing, which is kind of cool. And you open it like that. So it's a very salmon pink. I'm hoping you're seeing the colour properly, because I don't want to pour it all out. It's a very salmon pink, very viscous liquid, very creamy in texture. So I'm going to apply that on this side of my face. So let's do that, shall we? I'm not actually going to be using that. I'm just going to use my finger and just take it off the lid, because there's quite a bit on the lid there. So that's how it looks on my fingers. And just apply it here. It's got a fragrance. It smells like God, you know what? It smells like natural yogurt. Yeah, it smells like yogurt. That's really weird. I might have put a little bit too much on here. Maybe not. I shouldn't have put so much on. Okay, so that's that. Let's leave that to dry down a bit. Okay, so whilst they're both dried down, this one's actually dried down. It hasn't dried down to complete matte. It's just a very natural finish. It doesn't feel tacky. It just feels like my normal skin. So it's not powdery smooth either, which I tend to get with products like the Becca Ever Matte Poreless Primer. That's the primer I normally use as my standard. It's just a very natural finish. This one is still drying down, so it's still quite tacky, so I'll leave that for a bit. They have both dried down a bit now. I've just put a little bit of concealer under my eyes whilst they were both drying down. So the Jouer side is a very natural finish, a little bit tacky, but it's not giving me a complete matte finish, so I'm already starting to doubt it a bit. The Ilamasqua side is definitely more smoother. It's not quite the powdery finish I get with the Becca Ever Matte Poreless Primer, but it's definitely more smoother in finish. It's a very warm day. I am perspiring a bit, so I'm going to apply the rest of my makeup on now, and I'm going to turn the fan on so everything gets a chance to dry down, and I'll come back to you with a finished makeup look and a check-in time. It's not going to be a very long day today. It's going to be about 5-6 hours of wear, and that'll give you an opportunity to see how these primers perform under very warm and humid conditions, and to see if they control my oil, basically, because that's what this is all about. I'm going to be testing the primers on a foundation that I wore earlier on this year when it first launched, and it's the LA Girl Pro Coverage Illuminating whatever foundation. The colour of this was fantastic, but I'm just going to see how the two primers perform with this product. I just hope I don't look like an oily mess, because I have got a meeting this afternoon. So let's see how they go. So I'll see you in a bit after I finish my makeup application. I've just applied the foundation, and this is the Jouer side, and this is the Ilamasqua side. Don't know if it's me, but I'm looking at the Jouer side, and it does seem a little bit more illuminating, dewy on this side compared to the Ilamasqua side, which just seems to be less dewy. It's a bit more mattified, more of a natural finish on this side. This coverage is it's the same coverage I got when I tried this foundation out earlier in the year when I first did an all-day test wear of this foundation. This is the coverage I got then. So it definitely seems to be more mattifying on the Ilamasqua side, but let's not judge. Time now, so it's coming up to 11:30. So that's the check-in. So hopefully I'll be checking in again about 5 o'clock maybe. We'll get a good idea then of how the primers have performed on my very oily skin. Alright, so I'm just going to finish my makeup and I will see you later when I do my final review at the end of the day. Take care. Bye. Good evening and welcome back. So I'm here to do my final thoughts and review of the 2 primers I was testing out today. So the first primer I was testing was this one by Jouer. It was the anti-blemish matte primer that looks like this. 30 mils, 1 fluid ounce, and it cost £29 in the UK. And this was worn on this side of my face. Okay. And this primer was the Ilamasqua Matte Veil Primer, 1 fluid ounce, 30 mils, cost £34, and I was wearing it on this side of my face. So I've been wearing the primers now for about 5.5 hours. The time now is coming up to 5:45. I hope you can see that there clearly. I'm testing out products. Particularly to see how well they control oil. I like to wear them for a minimum of 4 hours because 4 hours is my benchmark where I'd like to see how well the oil is controlled. If a product is good, it will control the oils for about 4 hours. If a product is not so good, give it 2 hours and the oils will be breaking through. So I think we can clearly see that there is one clear winner when it comes to these 2 products on my oily skin. So this side is the Jouer, and I think we can clearly see that this side is actually really, well, when I say really oily, I mean I've had oilier, but this is oily in comparison to this side, which has got a light sheen of oil. I mean, it's literally starting to break through now. So probably in about another hour or so, this side would be as oily as this side is. But after sort of 5-6 hours, the Ilamasqua Matte Veil has clearly controlled my oil a lot better than the Jouer Anti-Blemish Matte Primer. So there you go, let's have a quick look on there. And then over here. So to really see how well they control the oils, I'm going to do my test which I normally do for foundations and use my blotting sheets to see how much oil is absorbed from the both primers. So just hold on 1 minute. So these are the blotting sheets I normally wear. I bought these quite cheaply from Amazon. They're by, what was it, Natural Premium Oil Blotting Tissues. Okay, so let's do the Jouer Anti-Blemish Matte Primer side first. So let's do this. Okay, so that's one sheet. That's the other sheet. So I'd call that sort of 1.5, maybe 2 sheets of oil, and that's on the Jouer Anti-Matte. I'd call that 1.5, 2 sheets I would call that, and that's on the Jouer Anti-Blemish Matte Primer side. Let me have a quick look in the mirror to see how it compares. Okay, so now that I've blotted, I can still see the foundation is on. And no, it still looks okay once the oil's been removed, so that's good. So let's do the Ilamasqua side. Okay, I would say that is 1 sheet on this side of my face, right there. And it's actually even less than the first sheet on the Jouer Anti-Matte side. So yeah, I'd say this is less oil on this 1 sheet than there is on the first sheet of the Jouer side. Have a quick look to make sure I've absorbed all the oil. Yeah, Yeah, so I think that is a pretty clear winner. So Ilamasqua Matte Veil Primer is actually very good at controlling oil, because I was a little bit concerned about, oh, should I have bought this one? Because I should have bought the Hydra Veil, because that's the one I've been testing for several months. But when I saw this one, I thought, all right, let me try this out. So I'd actually say this is an actually pretty good primer. It's better than the Jouer Anti-Matte Blemish Primer. I'd also say that it's better than the Makeup Forever Step 1 Mattifying Base, I think it's called, the one in the black tube, because that's the primer I used when I did my initial test of the LA Girl Coverage Illuminating Foundation, and I still came out quite pretty oily. How that primer compared was pretty much very similar to how the Jouer primer has performed. So this has performed really well. So there you go. If you've got very oily skin and you're looking for a primer, it's not cheap, it's £34, but these days are really good primers, they do tend to be quite expensive. So I would say I would recommend this primer if you've got very oily skin, because I think the performance is a lot better than this side, and I think my little test there has actually proven it. Okay, hope you found that useful. So I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. Just for doing that very random test, I think you should give me a thumbs up. Okay, and if you haven't subscribed as yet, please don't forget to subscribe down below. When you subscribe, if you press the little bell next to the subscribe button, that will notify you of when I do my next upload. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I will see you soon. Bye.